Boy, I really enjoyed seeing this pop across my desk. NPR headline, more than 1 million fewer students are in college. This is the lowest enrollment numbers in 50 years, according to new data released Thursday. U.S. colleges and universities saw a drop of nearly 500,000 undergrad students in the fall of 2021. The rest of that gap is in higher ed and extended learning, and then graduate level, rather, and then community colleges. This is a historic decline that continues. They quote a guy by the name of Doug Shapiro, who I'm sure is a nice fellow, who leads the research center at the National Student Clearinghouse. His quote, "It's very frightening." Why is this frightening, Doug? Kids aren't enrolling for college. It's frightening. Ah! This is Doug. He's frightened. Why is Doug frightened? I don't understand why Doug is frightened. He goes on. The phenomenon of students sitting out college seems to be more widespread. Hey, Doug, it is. It's not just community colleges anymore. He goes on to say, this could be the beginning of a whole generation of students rethinking the value of college. Oh my, what are we going to do? He goes on to say, I think if that's the case, this is much more serious than a temporary pandemic-related disruption. I'm not picking on Doug, but folks, this is hysterical to me. I'll explain if you're not getting the joke yet. He goes on, the easiest assumption to make is that, they're out there working. Yeah, that's what they're doing, Doug. They're making money. Why is that frightening? So here's what's happened, Doug, and here's why it's not frightening. In the pandemic, we saw companies like Walmart and Target, Amazon jumped on board this train. They led the charge and they took the minimum wage for them. It's not a federal minimum wage increase, which I'm always against because I just think it should be a federal issue. I think companies in the free market economy will decide what they need to do, and they did. So once you have big time companies like Walmart, Target, Amazon, and I could keep listing on and on, Best Buy's doing it. Okay? Wells Fargo Bank is doing it. They're raising their minimum wage to a minimum of $15 an hour. So once that happens, that becomes a market reaction and things begin to move and other companies follow suit. So you want to know why you see all the help wanted signs on restaurants? Oh, we can't get waiters. We can't get cooks. We can't get dishwashers. I'll tell you why. Because they're going to other companies and they're making as much, if not more, than they would be on a 6 or 8 hour shift waiting tables. Do the math yourself. Minimum $15 an hour, 8 hours a day, and do a 6 hour shift and do your tips and whatever you get. I'm just telling you. By the way, you go to the really nice, expensive restaurants, which I like to do from time to time. They don't have help wanted signs out. They got plenty of waiters. Why? Because that waiter or waitress is making a whole lot more money. Because on a $3 or $4 or $5 or $6 or $7, $800, $1,200 meal, I'm just helping you all understand the math here. The tips on those are fantastic. But when we're looking at Chili's or whatever, pick the chain restaurant, you can't compete. So back to this issue of he's frightened that kids aren't going to college. Okay, two things are happening. One, these kids are hearing from their older siblings who went to college and went into debt and can't use the degree, and they're hearing from their siblings going, I'm not sure if it's worth it anymore. Then these kids who are dropping out, not coming back, are in college, and you told them they had to pay the same amount of money, but they had to do classes remote. And they were like, pfft. Then they see some of their friends who've started businesses right out of high school, coding or doing website design or whatever. And they're going, these kids aren't idiots. These kids have parents who are questioning the relevance of college. It's not what it used to be. You still need it for certain industries. For many, you do not. BethelTech.net. We have over 42 people from the Ken Coleman Show audience currently getting trained in technology by BethelTech.net. It's less than $15,000 and it's 9 months online. You can keep your full-time job, cash flow your way through it. And I just got a text the other day from Ryan, the CEO, Ryan Collins. We're about ready to get some great news of a couple of our first graduates and the kind of money they're going to be making and the big-time raise. We're going to report it here on the show. I say all that to say, this isn't frightening, Doug. Kids are wanting to get money now. They can make money now, good money, and get prepared for their dreams. They don't want to take on the debt, and they see the data that college isn't as relevant as it used to be. This is why kids and enrollment is down. All right, moving on. What else we got? Oh, yeah, here we go. Supreme Court. We told you that the COVID vaccine mandate, which affects a lot of you, we've been getting emails from you, phone calls, social media updates. Ken, what do we do? My company's going to force the vaccine. You know, and by the way, companies can do whatever they want to do. Private companies can do whatever they want to do. But this federal mandate through OSHA that President Biden floated out in the last quarter of 2021, it went before the Supreme Court, and they ruled on this late yesterday. The Supreme Court has stopped the Biden administration from enforcing a requirement that employers at large businesses be vaccinated against COVID-19 or undergo weekly testing. So many people, both sides of the aisle, some people thought it was great, some people thought it was unconstitutional. It's gone to the high court of the land. What is this going to mean for some of you? Well, again, they left the exception open for healthcare workers. They're going to allow that. And so that's where we sit right now. How this will continue to play out. Private companies, again, can do what they want to do. But this was just the Supreme Court ruling on a federal mandate forcing companies to do it. So for some of you, that's good news. For others, you're terrified and freaked out and angry. Please don't send me any hate mail. I'm not going to read it.